When the United States first became a nation, money was simple. It was gold, it was silver, it was metal you could touch. After the Revolutionary War, the Continental Congress had printed paper money that collapsed in value until, not worth a continental, became a national joke. Americans learned the hard way. Paper can lie, but gold cannot. So in the early republic, if you didn't have coins, you didn't have wealth. But in 1791 that changed. Alexander Hamilton pushed for the first bank of the United States. Hamilton understood credit because he worked in Caribbean trading houses as a young man. He admired the British system, where banks helped build national power. So he brought that idea to America. The first bank issued paper notes backed by gold, but here's the key. It issued more notes than the gold it held. This was the birth of fractional reserve banking in America. If a bank had $100 in gold, it might issue $500 in paper notes, trusting that not everyone would redeem their paper at the same time. That extra $400 wasn't backed by anything but confidence. It was money created from promises, and the moment money becomes based on promises instead of reality, greed enters the system. Why? Because as long as you can issue more paper than the gold you have, you can profit from lending money that doesn't fully exist. And once humans discover a way to profit with little risk to themselves, they push that boundary until it breaks. Money was no longer just metal. Money became metal plus debt, metal plus interest, metal plus imagination. And at the root of this imagination was usury, the practice of profiting from someone else in need. The first bank was run by America's wealthiest merchants, men shaped by the British trading world, men who understood credit, but also understood profit. Their personal backgrounds matter less than the economic system they believed in. They saw interest not as a sin, but as a tool. When the bank's charter expired in 1811, everything fell apart. Without a central institution, hundreds of state banks printed their own notes. Each one promised redemption in gold, eventually, but many held only a fraction of the metal required. Some held almost nothing. Bank owners discovered they could issue more paper, lend more money, and grow richer faster. And the more they printed, the less stable the system became. This is the heart of the problem. Fractional reserve banking is built on usury. Interest requires lending, lending requires notes, and notes require confidence. But confidence can vanish overnight. As state banks printed more and more unbacked notes, money became unstable, inconsistent, and fragile. Panics erupted. People ran to banks demanding gold, only to learn the truth. The gold wasn't there. It had never been there. It existed only in ledgers and promises. And from this world of speculation emerged Andrew Jackson. Jackson was born poor, raised by Scots-Irish immigrants, hardened by war and loss. He didn't come from merchant families or banking elites. He came from the frontier, where people distrusted paper money and saw banks as machines of exploitation. Jackson believed money should be gold and silver, real, tangible, earned, not paper conjured by bankers and multiplied by interest. He saw usury and fractional lending as tools for the rich to control the poor. To him, the Second Bank of the United States was not a stabilizer. It was a weapon. A way for a small group of elites to dictate the entire nation's financial destiny. Jackson once said he saw a den of vipers and thieves when he looked at the banking establishment, and he believed their power came from one thing: the ability to create money from nothing and profit from it through interest. Greed, not necessity, drove America toward paper and promises. Jackson's war against the Second Bank and the chaos that followed is the next chapter. But before we get there, remember this. Every financial crisis in early America, every collapse, every panic, every bank run, came from the same root cause: money disconnected from reality and tied instead to debt, interest, and human greed.